Ladies and gentlemen, the enforcement of the sustainable development of the African people that representing a healthful life for the citizens to require the responding of the health sector through the networks and programs in reaching, in building the capability in eliminating the diseases in Africa, the role of the African Center to confront the speech for Dr. John Kaseya, the director of the Research Center in Africa.
Your Excellency, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, Excellencies, Ministers, Commissioner Minata from African Union Commission, ambassadors, and our guests today. Please allow me to express our thanks and profound gratitude to His Excellency President el-Sisi and the whole Egyptian government for organizing the second edition of Africa Health ExCon, focusing on health innovation, pharma business, and trade in Africa. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, COVID is a key lesson for us in Africa and is teaching us that we need to be well prepared and build resilient systems to efficiently respond to pandemics and outbreaks. During the course of COVID-19 pandemic, Africa has learned how fragile can be the international cooperation when the world is collectively threatened and challenged by a pandemic. In this regard, on the 21st
الصراع ضد هذه المشاكل
في خلال 77 session of the United Nations in New York has adopted and called for the full implementation of Africa's new public health order. This is our roadmap in Africa
التي تبنت أفريقيا الموحدة ومن أجل تعزيز أجندة التأمين الطبي أحد أهم أعمدة هو الإفكودات
which is the EFCODAT
وهذا يعضد
that would strengthen the African agenda for producing medical vaccines as well as the local medical vaccines that we are in dire need to manage in approaching pharmaceutical to be used mechanically in the African continent. In order to Egypt made such an initiative that also would lead in a positive outcomes in confronting the upcoming diseases. And such an capability is not only for with respect to the vaccines, but also to the classification of diseases. We think that Africa and the African conferences that have a great role in the African continent. This period It's a very important period in development in the medical sector and technology management and in the field of vaccination in directing the efforts through which, therefore, we should thank Egypt for its African role and for the sakeness of being united and to have the assets in order to encourage the capacities and capabilities and technology in such a field that we are in believing in our potentials and as well as the Egyptian efforts and role in Africa. You should get benefited of such roles and the role of Egypt. Certainly, we are going to try to give all the necessary needs and requirement for the sakeness of the modernizations, the trade deals and such. Thank you.
My name is Joachim Müller. I'm professor of otology at Munich University. I'm leading the section otology and cochlear implants. My professional life was dedicated to otology and eliminating of hearing loss. With the cochlear implant, we have since decades now a device that restores the human sense, the hearing. This is unique in mankind and it's the only possibility to restore one of the human senses. With this device, people can hear, they be part of the community and they be part of society. This is nowadays of utmost importance. Our society is changing. We are living in a global world that depends on communication skills. It is estimated that in 2050, 1 out of 10 people will have a substantial hearing loss and suffer from hearing as a burden of communication. That would be about 700 million people worldwide, and thus WHO has considered hearing loss as one of the most important global burdens for human mankind. During the last decades, we have seen a huge development in the field of treatment of hearing loss, especially with the cochlear implants. We got better devices, we have broader indications, and we also saw children coming along from Egypt all the way down to Germany to be implanted. Seeing that cochlear implants are now available in Egypt as well, I would like to thank President Al-Assisi for his initiative to make this modern medicine development also available in Egypt. With this background, we wish all the best for the initiative African Health ExCon to eliminate burden for hearing impaired people in Africa. Thank you and congratulations for taking this initiative for other parts of the world where these developments need to be implemented.
السيدات والسادة، يمثل معرض ومؤتمر صحة أفريقيا قوة علمية واستثمارية على كافة الأصعدة الصحية، ويعد كذلك فرصة لتبادل الرؤى واستعراض التجارب وتناقل الخبرات وربط
expertise and link it to the medical potentials in African continent. Hence, the coordination role of the Ministry of Housing and Population with the OPA to provide the contents of the required expertise in building resilience in the field of the health road. The role of the Ministry of Health and Population and its provision, and the speech of Dr. Khaled Abdel Ghaffar, the Minister of Health and Housing.